When looking for a job, what is a dead giveaway that the place and job is a hellhole to work for? Anytime you are interacting with a group of people at a potential employer, and the boss is talking, check out everyone else in the room. If they are looking down and trying to act like they aren't there, that's a huge red flag. The boss is either extremely dominating and won't accept any opinion from anyone that contradicts his own, or he habitually ducks up and they are perpetually embarrassed for him. A third scenario is that the boss is overly hyping something extremely mundane. I've seen managers try to hype up their employees when the job everyone is doing isn't even worthy of hype. Everyone kind of rolls their eyes because they've heard the same story every day for the past however many years and they know it's all bullshit. In one of my own experiences, when the hiring person or orientation person spends a lot of time trying to sell you on the job, that's a red flag to me. I once went for an interview where I was asked 2 questions, and the rest of the job consisted of the HR guy telling me how bad and poorly paid the job was. It's really cold and wet. The work is very repetitive and intensive. Are you okay with that? Yeah. But the pay isn't great and you have to stay late most nights. Well, okay. When you start walking in to get an application and a guy comes running out and tearing off his uniform saying, "Duck this place." Truth story. On my first day of a job, I got into the elevator on my way up to my desk, and a woman in the elevator turned to me, and we had this exchange. "Oh, is this your first day?" Me. "Yes, it is." "I'm Name. Nice to meet you." "Oh, get out while you still can." I applied for a job as a massage therapist. During the interview, the person doing the interview answered the phone 4 or 5 times, a different business name every time. When I got home, I called the license agency and asked about them. Turns out they were a poorly disguised front for prostitution. They had a legit massage business, which they were using to hide the fact that they also had half a dozen not so legit massage businesses. I was advised not to accept the position as they were, once again, under investigation. A month later, I saw my interviewer on the news, in handcuffs. You can be your own boss, okay, pyramid scheme. I recently went to Pyramid Scheme, a makeup/lifestyle company called Arbonne. My friend had told me she just got a new job, as networking manager, or some bullshit euphemism. She asked me if I would come support her new endeavor. As a friend, I said of course. I asked her for some more details of what her job consists, and she said something along the lines of, "Well, aren't you sick of knowing all these people in different industries? Don't you want to get paid for connecting different people, all the while doing whatever you want to do?" Well, sure, does sound good. At this point, this should have been my first red flag. Why wouldn't my friend tell me specifically what the heck the job is? So I go to her party to celebrate her new job. A lady there makes us listen to this iPad PowerPoint presentation about Arbonne's awesome ingredients, and how you can get a white Mercedes if you hit your sales mark. All you need to do is pay for your membership, usually around $500 for products, then find 5 people to buy a membership underneath you. And you could be making $50,000 a month just by sitting around your house. Who wouldn't want that? Also, I thought I was gonna at least munch on some party food there, but after the 2-hour-ish presentation, we only got Arbonne health bars and health chips. What I came to understand is 1. Duck, my friend just got roped into a pyramid scheme. 2. My friend is trying to sign me up. 3. In order to make money, you have to pretty much ruin all your friendships by harassing your friends to support their job. Be careful with anything that advertises as an entry-level marketing position. I interviewed for this position last year, which took place at a Starbucks where I paid for my own drink. It turned out to be door-to-door gas payment plan sales. They expected you to also do sales presentations in people's house. No. When the interviewer complains about their current staff, it's a concern to me. If someone is going to air their dirty laundry when you first meet them, they are almost certainly a drama queen manager. First job interview out of college. I was interviewing at a call center. The HR guy, at one point, said, "Yeah, I'm really trying to find something better and get out of this place." I recently asked a potential employer, "Where can someone who works hard at this job be in 5 years?" I meant, is there upward mobility? His answer, "Hopefully somewhere else." I had an interview at an Outback in college once. About halfway through the interview, the interviewer, who owned and operated that location right by a busy highway and mall, says, "Now you realize that once you have this job, I own you. You can't take multiple days off to see family, you can't take any holidays off, and you can't go out of town." That sounded like slavery to me, so I got up and walked out. 2 of my friends now work there, and that guy was dead ducking serious about owning his employees. Duck that. Unpaid training and or you have to buy uniforms from them up front. I've had both happen, and I just noped the duck out of there with a smile on my face. In addition, there are stores in the mall that require that you buy an entire new wardrobe consisting only of their clothing. This repeats every season as new clothes come out. Any kind of telesales business. A lot claim they don't have a high turnover of staff. Turns out it's a fancy way of saying, "We like lying to people." I've worked in telesales. "We like lying to people" may as well be the full job description. Best to check the facial expression / body language of the people you pass. You can easily tell if a person is defeated / hate their job. Also ask your interviewer if they enjoy their job. If they hesitate in their answer, then that's an indication that it isn't the greatest place. I just left an interview, and that's why I have asked this question. I asked what the company was like to work for, and the 2 interviewers looked at each other and said, "The shifts are alright." I'm not even joking. My heart sank because I really wanted that job. Anywhere that advertises what you could earn, instead of what you will earn, they're going to use you up and spit you out. This plus entry fee / investment equals pyramid scheme. Watch out. Life insurance sales for recent college grads is a huge offender here. This happened to me. Fresh out of college, I go to a job fair on campus, and the only people to call me back were a big name insurance company. But I'm staring at my impending debt payments and think, alright, maybe insurance is the way to go. Plus, they called me, so that must mean I'm going to get this job and make bank. I go in for my first interview, and the guy shows me a pay stub, detailing how much he made last year, 6 figures, wow. And almost promises that in a few years I could be too. However, before they bring me on, I'll need to shell out $200 for this license, $75 for something else, and it's gonna take a few weeks to a month to get certified, so probably about $100 in gas money. Plus, I wasn't guaranteed a paycheck. It's sales, so commission based only, and I would be working as an agent for this guy, so a chunk of whatever I managed to sell would go straight to his bank account. I noped the hell out, and got an internship that turned into a salaried desk job. It's not 6 figures, but at least I paid off all of my student debt. All of these comments offer good suggestions for relatively normal workplaces. If you have the misfortune of interviewing at a place that has a good reputation, puts up a good front but is rotten at the core and toxic, it can be very difficult to ascertain the crazy. Still, if you pay attention, there are a few clues. 1. Highly regimented interview process and schedule, where you only talk to selected persons. This is where having some idea of the organization chart can help. If you only talk and interact with a few people in a department or company of several dozen, beware. 2. They do more talking about themselves than asking you questions. They don't care to find out about you, but want to convince you how wonderful they are, and how you'd be lucky to join them. Therein lies the way of madness. 3. Your questions aren't answered, not really. For example, if you ask about hours, flexibility for appointments, lunch, etc., and you are told that as a salaried person you aren't tracked, but oh, by the way, you need to tell your superior and 3 others when you arrive, where you are, when you leave. Run away. Micromanager ahoy. Source: worked in a crazy, toxic place. If they tell you to start calling all your friends, and then friends of your friends to sell knives, go away. Vector marketing. I went into one of their meetings because I was a naive teenager who could potentially be making 16 per hour just by selling knives. They told me to leave when I asked too many questions at the interview. Whenever I go on a job interview and it's time for me to ask a question, I always sneak in a friendly way of asking, what's the best thing about working here? And what's the worst thing? Usually people are really honest with you, especially if their boss isn't also in the interview. Piggybacking on this, I have found that if the answer is, I really enjoy working with the people here, that is a hint that it should at least be a manageable situation, even if the actual job sucks. Yeah, the culture makes a big difference in an organization. You can have a ton of fun if you have some like-minded people on your team, even if the job you are doing is lackluster. It's why I always ask how the corporate culture is when on an interview, so I can see what things are really like. I would shovel manure if I could do it with a bunch of people I liked. A friendly work environment makes all the difference.